Good morning. Look at this gorgeous blue sky behind me. And the birds are chirping. It's actually warm enough in the morning for me able to sit out here and do my stream. I got my tea steeping. It's a gorgeous Wednesday morning, June 22nd. It is currently what computer says it's 9:31. Of course, I've kind of got the glare coming down, so I can't really see, but that's okay. I have not seen Kenobi yet, but we weren't going to talk about Kenobi today either. So, let's see. I spent most of yesterday finishing up the flyers for the what do you call it? The open house. I've got a large one, the 11 by 14. I've got a smaller one, which is the just a standard sheet, 8.5 by 11. Then I made a couple memes. I made one for the Facebook page, or at least Facebook event page, which I actually put that live yesterday, invited a bunch of people. Of course, I have not, I shared it, but I have not shared it on my personal page yet. So, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Kind of excited that it's going to be happening. Hopefully it will bring in more people. If I can get as many of my, when it came to inviting friends, my Facebook friends, I basically really only chose the ones that were local. But then now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I should just invite all of them because they might know somebody. The people who are not local may know somebody who's local and suggest that they go to this thing. So we got a couple people up there in the sky. Why don't you chat, say hi? And I usually say this at the end, do all those social media things. Why don't you share this now too? So, because if I'm live and you share it, more people will know about it. There we go. And then if you share it, just put in the comments, just hashtag shared, so we know that or that I know that you all are out there. Let's just go straight into upcoming events. And I was kind of in a rush this morning. So I'm gonna talk and kind of do some stuff here at the same time. There were several inconsistencies with the with the schedule, so we'll try and make that a little bit less an issue here. So when it comes to all the martial arts stuff that are going on, this is the updated list. In fact, I'm still missing one thing off that list. So this weekend is this coming weekend, the 24th and 25th. For some reason, I had that as September, and I don't know why. But anyway, 24th and 25th, Troy Price and Lee Richards are going to be at Carter's Martial Arts Institute in Jacksonville. But another thing that is happening, and I've been meaning to put this on. In fact, I remembered this in the shower. What is it? It is. Can't think of it right now. Damn. Anyway, I can't remember what it's called, but it's an annual Remy Presas event put on by Michael Bates. Bram is going to it Bram always goes to it. Dan Anderson's going to be there. Chad Bailey's going to be there. I think Chad usually goes, but they're actually being promoted as like the headliners almost. And it's happening somewhere in Pennsylvania, maybe in Philadelphia. If you give me a half a second, I'm going to let me bring up, because one of these guys usually posts it. Let's see. I know that Dan posted it recently. Scrolling through his page. I find that there's a lot of people that they just post a lot of stuff. Aha! Okay, so let's save. Let's see. We'll download this. Save image to downloads. Okay, and then we'll bring this up, and then let's go here. Rob made it. Well, thank you, sir. It was I hope you didn't have too many issues dealing with those that you needed to deal with. Let's see. Share screen window. I know I'm just talking you guys through this. Okay, so there we go. So this is what I'm talking about. It is the 39th annual Remy Priestess Modern Artist Hall of Flame Foundation Camp. So it's actually happening in Media, Pennsylvania. There's Bates's number, and it is Friday, Saturday. Let's see if I can. The 24th, 25th, and 26th. So it's pretty much an all week thing, or not an all weekend thing, Friday through Sunday. So that's the one thing that I don't have on there. But as I was kind of running out of space, I actually had to shrink all this stuff up. Now, of course, I've put stuff, because it's coming to the end of June. So we got all of July, all of August, and then of course, September, October. And if you notice, Danny's thing in November is not there, because if I scrunched everything together, there just wouldn't be enough room. But yeah, so I guess it's all about, there's just so many things happening. And of course, this list, priority is moi and my school, but I have no problem promoting other stuff that other people are doing, especially if it's good stuff. So, but anyway, so going down the list, so I kind of cleaned this list up. And as you can see, okay, so Rory's thing is still happening tomorrow, not tomorrow, but on the weekend. Self-defense class on the 2nd, like I said. Then I've got the open house on the 9th. Bram will be here on the 15th. And then on the 23rd, we'll do another Rory Miller training lab at noon. And these, the training labs I've been kind of taking on a monthly basis, but this is just projecting that most likely there will be one on the 23rd. It is the 4th Saturday of the month. And, don't know if Rory will be there, but Rory doesn't have to be there for a training lab to happen. So it's just been one of those things. Let's see. And then after that, we have another self-defense class, because we're trying to do two a month, one every week or every other week. The next weekend, August 6th, or actually, no, there's July 30th. I don't have anything planned. Nothing is planned for the weekend except for regular classes. So if something kind of pops up, then I'm going to do that. Then we've got another self-defense class on the noon and a crimp user course after that. So, so that'll be the next official one. I was going to do crimp classes like every month, like once a month. They have just not been as popular as I thought they were going to be. So I'm going to try and basically open up my schedule to allow more things. But I'm still going to have them. So they will probably from here on out, they'll probably happen every other month or once every 3 months. And potentially I might every now and then do I was thinking about doing like a law enforcement security tools weekend. So we'd have baton and handcuffing, and that would be it would just almost be like a camp. Like you just come and you either get refreshed or you learn new for the crimp, baton, handcuff, pepper spray. And I won't be able to do, just because I'm not security anymore and I never was law enforcement, I can't do the law enforcement training for Taser, but I am in the process of getting and it's going to be a long process. I have to take a couple different classes to qualify for it. But Taser offers a civilian Taser class or instructor class, so you can teach the pulse. And so that's going to be something that I offer at the school as soon as I can. So kind of looking forward to that. I like that. I like that I can do that. August at Clay's, Jim Korn and David Hogan. That's going to be in Statesboro, Georgia, at Statesboro Karate. August 18th, the booth. 20th, another self-defense class. And then September 23rd, 25th through the 25th is going to be Jim Korn's Friends in the Arts in Washington, Indiana. This same weekend, since it is the fourth weekend of the month in September, would technically be a Rory Miller training lab, but I will not be there. So unless, of course, Rory wants to open up the school and run it himself, then provided my wife is okay with that, then it probably will not happen. And then there's somewhere in here, there'll be another Rory Miller thing in August. So, and then of course, HKI camp in Florida. And then what dropped off this list was Danny's thing in November, his 70th birthday camp with the A to Z 10th Dawns. So anyway, so that's kind of everything that's been going on there. So that is finally updated. Yay. Now, when it comes to Kenobi, like I said, I watched, I started back at the first episode. I watched all the way up to, I think I got through episode 4 because we started late. I was going to do this with my wife. So, because she had only seen 1 and 2. So, but we started again at the beginning. And by the end of 2, she was sleeping and or snoring on the couch. And then by the end of, by the end of, what is it called? By the end of 3, she was like, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. So, or maybe it was the end of 4. I can't remember. No, it was the end of 3 because then I watched another one and went downstairs. So I still need to make it through 5. And even at what was it? I think I went downstairs at almost 1. It still had not dropped. So it was still not available. So I don't know when it became available, but it was not available at 1 in the morning. Last night or this morning. It's nice. I got the sun beating down. So sitting on my back deck, this is, I really like this. Being able to, nice cool breeze. So this will be the normal backdrop. And you can see this pole right back here. I actually have poles set up so it's not for dancing, but for kind of a cover. So it's like a deck cover that comes over. Because right now I've got just a standard, you can see it, just a standard umbrella sitting there. But that gets the umbrella out of the way, and it makes stuff a little easier, covers a little bit more. So I think I'll end up putting that up today, because we've got, like, looking forward on the it'll call it, like how I'm specific on that. So like this weekend, 90, it's up to 90, it's projected up to 92 on Saturday, 97 on Sunday. Holy cow. 92 on Monday. I am so glad that the air conditioning at the school works, because I was up there for most of the day yesterday, and well, I did do errands, but as it got warmer in the day, but yeah, this is just crazy. And then even on the 6th, it'll be 80 degrees on the 6th. We'll have some cloudy days projected, but basically there's no rain projected. That's fantastic. But that means that I have to water the lawn, because it's a lot nicer to have green grass that you can play in, because I'm still planning for the camp to be here at the house, Bram's camp. It's a lot easier to do stuff, because I serve lunch, and we've done lunch before at other locations, but it's more like, I had it catered. I had Red Robin cater it once. I did a catering from Chipotle. But that stuff is super, like, when you get down to it, that stuff is pretty expensive. So it's actually less expensive and a little bit, to have a lighter lunch. So just, make sliders and chips and soda or water or whatever. And then, so it's easier to put that together here at the house than it is at another location. So, but it also gives, I have a huge backyard. That's the one thing that I feel fortunate about, is, looking at some of this new construction that's going around. These like, the backyards are smaller than my deck, and my deck really isn't that big. I mean, it's bigger than it was when I moved in. I think we had like a 10 by 12. Now I have a 16 by 16 when I rebuilt it, but still, it's, being able to, like, this one kid, I had mentioned him before, a friend of ours, who's like 11 and has been a black belt. He was looking in the backyard. He's like, "Is that all yours?" It's like, "Yeah, it's just a backyard." But again, he lives in this tiny little house with this backyard that's about the size of my deck, and it's just crazy. So I think this is one thing I take for granted, but I really feel fortunate about, is having a huge backyard. And yes, able to grill burgers and hot dogs just like my birthday. And that's what we do on Saturday. So at Bram's camp, we'll do, it's like 10 to 5 is the training. And then and we have a lunch in between. So we do 3 hours, an hour lunch, and then 3 hours. And it usually goes a little bit later. But then we have a basically kind of a barbecue at, I think we started, I don't know, like 6 or 6:30. So we grill burgers, and I have a couple people who can't, they're allergic to something. So last year we just happened to have salmon patties in the house, so we grilled them some salmon patties. So I know I'm not usually like, oh, what's your food tolerance? Because though that is important, that's not something that's not something that I can afford to care about. So and I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but it just, it just is. Because if I was like, oh, are you gluten-free, or are you this, or you that, I'd be spending so much fucking money on food that it's just, no, this is a martial arts camp. This is not space camp. Like, I think if it was bigger, like if we did like a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, like I had originally planned, like we had, like the whole Bram camp originally started out as my family and I own property out in Malala, which is about an hour ish south of where I'm at, kind of southeast ish. Anyway, so there's um, we have about 10-ish acres on kind of a corner bend of the river, and we have a cabin out there. The cabin's been out there for ever. I think it was probably built before I was born. Um, but my grandmother and my grandfather had bought it long time ago. This is kind of like a getaway from the city type place. So with my mom dying, I inherited part of it, and along with my sister, or we inherited my mom's part. And I was like, ooh, I have all this property in the middle of nowhere on a river. We've got a cabin. Now, it's not a big cabin, but it is a cabin. So, you know, at least Bram could stay there and he could be comfortable. Or we could even have him sleep in town at a you know, have his own place, because I know how he is about staying at certain places. But he, you know, and for those people who wanted to sleep, they could make reservations locally, and people who wanted to camp could literally camp. Like they could put up a tent and whatever. There's my cousin had a wedding out there, so he had people come from all over the place. So there's a place, not an official RV hookup, but you know, there's an area where he cut out all the brambles and all that kind of stuff, and literally made a parking lot, or a makeshift parking lot. And I had, you know, there was going to be breakfast, there was going to be lunch, and there was going to be dinner. And it was going to be basically a full, like, it would start later in on Friday. So there wouldn't be any breakfast on Friday, but the training would start, you know, in the morning on Friday, and then you'd have lunch and dinner, and then you'd have, and then for those people who stayed, there'd be, you know, Saturday, and there'd be a big barbecue I mean, I had this whole thing planned, and then my family was like, "You're advertising this?" Because I got the okay. They were like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And they're like, "You're advertising this. Well, who's going to come?" I don't know. It's like, "Oh, I saw somebody comment that they're going to come from Israel." Yeah, they're probably going to fly from Israel, because this was, you know, post-COVID. This was the first year. This is what Bram's 65th year, the one that we did. And so basically I was just like, there was so much drama involved that it's like, oh, well, you know, if you have people, they can't use the cabin. Okay, well, what about a bathroom? I mean, I was going to get, like, you know, a honey pot anyway, just because there was a ton of people coming. And even with the amount of people that actually came, like, I still would have needed that. But it was just one of those things where it was one of those where the drama was just too much. So I was like, screw it, not gonna do it. So I just kept it here locally. I was part of the PTO, or maybe the kids were, I don't know if the kids were still in school, but it was still early enough in the year that that we were able to secure that time frame at the local elementary, which is right down the street. And it was a super great time. People took pictures in front of the no weapons on campus signs, and yeah, it was fun. So and so that's why it initially just started local. And then when I was started to have it at the house, it became more of kind of the camp, because we're actually training in the grass. And that's kind of when, you know, COVID happened, because I couldn't get a location, and I had just built a fence, and I was like, ooh, I just expanded my backyard fence wise. I was like, we could do this at the house, and we've had it at the house ever since. Every year I make it a little bit better for training, because mid-July it's like this, but like 80 degrees, between, well, a little bit. I think last year it was like 88 degrees was the hottest. But I put up tents, and I put up, I've got the shade that I put up over here, which you might see tomorrow. Depends on how productive I am today. I put that out off the side of the house, so there's a shaded area. I put those up last year. It was very popular. A couple extra tents. We're able to plug right in the internet, so we can stream. Yeah, it's a great place, and we can kind of do anything we want because it's my house. So it's pretty cool. So if anybody can come to Bram's thing, go to bramsbirthdaybash.com, sign up. We're doing the virtual option again this year. If nobody signs up for the virtual option, we will not do it virtually. We will still record, because I always record, but if nobody signs up, I'm not going to be streaming it. Let's see. Good morning, Bill. All right. July in Florida is only around 100. Ooh, with a heat index of 115 or so. Granted, we are dead in the middle of mid-morning and mid-afternoon rainstorms. Yeah, this is it's been a wetter season. Usually it is not. Usually it stops raining in early June, with the rain here and there. But like we've had, and like rain more as in like, oh, I think we're just gonna have, some clouds and some rain for just a little bit, and then but it's been storming. Like just the other day when it was the last rain, it was raining so hard. It was crazy insane. So yeah, that's what, so I'm looking forward to that. We actually have somebody, like I mentioned, I think I mentioned yesterday, somebody signed up, a newbie. So kind of excited that that's going to happen. New person coming. I haven't made any paper flyers for the thing and for Bram's thing, and I usually don't. Or I usually just make up like a digital thing and I send it out. But I haven't done that yet this year. But I do have a lot of people are returning, so it'll be that'll be fun. But I do kind of need to put that up because Carl will probably post one, get some people from his place, and then we've got probably send one down to Stan's school, one up to, I haven't heard from what's it called? I haven't heard from there's this one school. They came down last year. They've done some stuff, but they have their school up in Olympia at the mall. Like this guy, this is Pollyanna and Joshua Cook. They opened a school during the pandemic at the mall. I think they took over like an old what's it called? An old Gap store. And they were like, look, we want to, made a deal. Like they're paying less rent than I am, but they have like massive traction. Like they got a super deal, but it's one of those where the mall can just be like, yeah, we're going to kick you out anytime. So I have not talked to them in a while. So hopefully they'll be able to make it down. It would be nice to see them again. They hosted, they hosted Francis Serrano. I can't remember when they did, but I think it was last September, and I actually was not able to be there because I was in Indiana, but yeah. So anyway, so I think that's what I'll do. Got to make up a brand thing. Then I can send all that stuff to the printer and have it printed. And then probably time frame wise, I'll probably pick it up tomorrow. So I did show my wife what the posters that I made, and she approves. So at least she approves, and then I can move forward. When it comes to, let's see, I don't think I did birthdays yesterday. So we had a birthday yesterday. It was actually one of my students and friends. His birthday was yesterday. Don't know how old he is, but he's old. He's older than me. He's probably 10 years older than me. I can't remember. Anyway, so he's off. He's off visiting. But got a lot of people up there. Say hi. Put it in the comments. Say hi and share this. I mean, I'm almost done with my tea, so the sharing won't be shared for long, but that's okay. I just lost my tab. See, doing this on one screen is not fun. Where did my tab go? Okay. So let's go to let's close this down. And then the glare. It's the glare. Home, friends, birthdays. Is anybody's birthday today? No. None of my Facebook friends that have registered their birthday with Facebook have friends today, or friends. But Gordon's was yesterday, so happy birthday, Gordon. Post birthday. Looking at the calendar, do we have any Star Trek people born today that I know of? Yes, we do. Tim Russ, Tuvok. His birthday is today. So happy birthday, Tim. He is, we all know him as Tuvok from Voyager, but he also played a random part in The Next Generation, and he was knocked out or neck pinched by Captain Picard. So, but I don't think his character had a name. But anyway, so happy birthday, Tim. I did get through as I was doing stuff yesterday. I did get through some Star Trek, not a lot. So, Rob, hi? What do you mean, hi? I don't know when you posted that. I've been on a different screen. You're funny. Rob has already said hi. I'm asking for the other people who are not there anymore. It is what it is. Let's see. Okay, so... Oh, that's right. I was going to go through and if I could remember some of these other episodes. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay, so I did get through Flesh and Blood. That is the Herosians that started using the technology that Janeway gave them, and then they created these space bubbles or space bubbles, these space stations, these training stations, and the holograms, they basically enhanced the holograms to make them a little bit smarter and a little bit more cunning, and they rose up and fought back. And so they actually ended up stealing the Doctor, and the Doctor chose to be on their side for a little while. But it was what is it? But I think it was speaking to or bringing up like slavers versus slavery, and those slaves rising up against their masters. It was an okay episode. I mean, there was one character. Actually, I recognize a couple different actors, but the one that really stuck out, and I wonder if it's still in my. Hold on a second. Wait. Bit. Still. Stream. It's the same guy. I can't remember his name. Wise? Actress Wise. Anyway, so if you remember the Next Generation episode Drumhead, where you had the young kid who was he was a Romulan / Vulcan hybrid who basically was trying to hide his Romulan Vulcan hybrid. Not hybrid. I think what his grandfather was Romulan, and he was basically trying to hide that from this because I can't remember what there was. Something that happened. Picard makes that command speech that everybody, he's like, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. We're done. But he gets in trouble anyway. So it's the same actor that played the Vulcan Romulan. He's actually in this same actor is in this episode. So not that it's new that we have an actor playing multiple characters, but he was a very familiar face. And so when I watched it, I was like, I know him, but he did not have ears. He did not have ears, or he had ears, but he didn't have pointed ears in this episode. Season 6, episode 2. You're just flying through, man. And I'm falling behind. Like if I look at my calendar, like I got Flesh and Blood and I watched Shattered, and that's about as far as I got. Like I tried to have it on in the background, but I was doing stuff. So it was like I'd have to restart stuff and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really on Lineage, which is that was one of Monday's episodes. And then today is a 3-part episode, or not a 3-part episode, a 3-episode day. And Sunday marks the end of Voyager for the year of Trek. So at some point we'll make it through all of this. So, but I got to watch Kenobi somewhere in there. Got to get episode 5 and 6. I mean, I've seen 5, but in watching all of them, I got to 5. So, let's see. Upside to remote work and data heavy few days. True. And I'll do that. I'll just kind of put it on in the background and do what I need to do and look up and catch some of the big points. And if I was like, ooh, I missed that really good scene, then I'll flip back. But I've just been, and I got to do my own video recording. So I know, just excuses. All you hear are just a bunch of excuses, but I'll catch up at some point. I'd like to catch up by Sunday, so then we can start Broken Bow with Enterprise on Monday. I love Enterprise. I know people don't, there's some people like, I just don't like Enterprise. I don't like the theme song. Screw the theme song. I personally, I kind of like the theme song. I think it fits. It's different. Like, you have, it's different from Space, the Final Frontier, and then the sci-fi-ish, music in the background. And it's different from just the instrumental ones. This is actually, a Rod Stewart song. But I don't know. I think it fits. I do not like it when they went to season, what is it? when they went to season 2. No, season 3. I think when they started season 3 is when they started calling it Star Trek Enterprise, which I totally got why they called it Enterprise. They're like, yeah, we're not going to, and that was one of the controversies. Why not call it Star Trek? It's like, well, because if we call it Enterprise, the name Enterprise is synonymous with Star Trek. You should just assume that it is a Star Trek show. And I think that's part of the problem, is that they assumed it was. And I like the fact that they did that. You don't have to have Star Trek Enterprise. They just should have just stuck with it, but they didn't. They turned Enterprise into Star Trek Enterprise, and then they redid the theme song and they made it upbeat and more jazzy, and that's when it was ruined. It's like, seriously, are you kidding me? So the only thing I know that time travel is a trope with Star Trek, and we've had this conversation before. If it is done right, it works, and if it's done wrong, it sucks. So the whole Daniels thing, and if you haven't seen Enterprise, that's fine. We'll work through this, and I'll talk through it. But just too much time travel when it comes to Enterprise. They could have just stuck with the show. The Xindi, it was a little bit different, but I kind of wasn't too bad. I actually enjoyed the Xindi, but I think the worst thing about it was the final episode. So, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. Yes, I'm glad I did push you, and I'm glad that you listened to it, because Enterprise is awesome. Now, Strange New Worlds is awesomer, but I think that that Enterprise holds its own. I really like that. So, let's see. So, coming up for tomorrow or today. So we have Kenobi today. Okay, we have Orville episode 4 tomorrow, and Strange New Worlds episode 8 tomorrow. We'll see. I should take a poll. I mean, there's only 2 people watching now, but I should just start taking a poll. Like, how many people actually think Orville's and a future episode of Orville is going to be good the way that we're going right now? And the meme that I was talking about yesterday when it went to Orville, it was like a scene from Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkins, and it's like he's taking a test and he's looking over on somebody else's thing, and it has him labeled as Orville, and the person who's paying attention to their own test, that's labeled Star Trek. And then the next panel is him going like this, like he's being caught. And the guy who's taking the test kind of looks over like, are you cheating on me? It fit so much, because Orville is becoming too Star Trek-ish. I think it's just too Star Trek-ish. It's not holding its own. Like, I see some of these people post on Star Trek stuff. Oh, have you seen Orville? It's so great. It's so great. I don't know why it gets a bad rap, because Orville season 1, because I don't usually comment. So, but I'm thinking in my head, what season are they on? Because season 1 and 2, a couple weird episodes in there, but season 1 and 2 was awesome, was great. But so far season 3 is just, it's just, oh my God, it's really painful. Let's see. I'm almost ready to dismiss Orville. Went from Trek inspired to unique to Trek plagiarism. Yeah, exactly. Are you leading me into a new game? I'm going to start watching Stranger Things. Will it scare me? Okay, so Bonnie, have you watched Stranger Things at all? And actually, it's not really, I wouldn't really see it's scary. It's not really scary or gory. I mean, I don't know what you're like. For me, it's more nostalgia based. So if you remember, okay, so you haven't watched it at all. So Bonnie hasn't watched it all. Okay, so just start with episode 1. And I mean, there's only eight episodes a season, roughly. I think season 2, maybe season 3 has 7 episodes. I think season 2 has 9 episodes. Season 3 has 7 episodes. So they kind of even it out. And then Stranger, and then this season, 8 and 9 drop on July 1st. A Hallmark and Forensic Files. Well, you could look at it as let's see. You've seen Ghostbusters, right? The original Ghostbusters. Because, and whoever else is watching, how close do you think, like, say, the gore or the scariness of Ghostbusters to Stranger Things? Okay, so you've seen it. I would say it's kind of along the same lines, honestly. I mean, it's not exactly. I mean, it's not like it's kind of kids solving a mystery. There are ghosts and ghouls involved. Not really ghosts, but ghouls. In fact, the Demogorgon, or maybe I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The main creature is it's an interesting creature, but it's not. I wouldn't call it scary. I would just it's not like Nightmare on Elm Street scary or anything like that. And usually when I compare scary stuff, like Nightmare on Elm Street, to me, the original, I think that came out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. That was some scary shit. Like, that freaked me out. So, but it's more kind of a fun ish. Well, it's not fun. I mean, there's some comedy in there, but it's more nostalgia based gore. I would just start with watching with, episode 1, and just kind of, if you're just like, yeah, this isn't for me, then turn it off. But it's not like bad. Okay. It is not clown scary stuff. So it's not like It. When it comes to It, I'd be interested in watching the new stuff, but I'm not. But yeah, I'm just not into. I'm just not into that. So, but yeah. Ooh, you and Ron can watch it together, and then on the scary things, you can cuddle up to Ron. There you go. He'll like that. But yeah, just give it a try. That's basically all I could say. All right. My tea is getting cold. And we're coming to the end. And I have a daughter-in-law who has been messaging me she needs to come over and pick up something. I think it's business cards. Anyway. So, and I don't even know if she's watching, but I'm going to let her know. Almost done. Head over. Okay. So, until tomorrow, and even if we get through Kenobi tonight, which I will, we don't talk about that until Friday. So Friday is our spoiler day. And Bonnie, you have until July 1st to get through Stranger Things. And average episode is about an hour. Season 4, however, the average episode is like an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. So, so just be prepared for that. And episode, 8 and 9 are like episode 9. The last episode is supposed to clock in at like 2.5 hours. So, have no clue. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to. It. So anyway, so there you go. Enjoy the day. At least if you're in the area, enjoy this day. This is going to be beautiful. Wind is out. You can actually see the clouds moving behind me, but it's not cold. So, all right. Until tomorrow.